it is the kind of movie that exists to offer fun clips for career retrospectives of George Clooney and Brad Pitt more than it exists on its own as a film, you know?
Brad Pitt and George Clooney are together again. They are wolves. Apparently the plural of wolf is wolves, not wolves. This has been in theaters for a little bit, but is now streaming on Apple TV Plus. So come hang out with us as we review films like this. Alonso, our own silver fox, who has aged impeccably like these A-list stars. Please tell us about this film.
Let's see your technique. I showed you my luggage card trick. Admit it. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, fine. It was very cool.
Do you want to hear my dumb theory as to why it's called WOLFS?
Yes.
So remember in Pulp Fiction, the character played by Harvey Keitel, who is the wolf, who comes in and cleans up crime scenes?
Okay.
So these guys both clean up crime scenes. So they're both the wolf, but they're not wolves. They're wolves. Anyway, I don't know. Take it for whatever that's worth. Anyway, George Clooney and Brad Pitt play guys who clean up crime scenes. Like they're the ones you call when something terrible has happened, and they make it all go away. In this case, the person to whom the terrible thing has happened is Amy Ryan. She is a politician who is sort of running on a corruption-free ticket to be like district attorney. And so when she winds up in a hotel room with a dead young man, oops, it's time to call in a professional. She calls in George Clooney. The hotel, meanwhile, which has cameras hidden in all the rooms, has also called in Brad Pitt. Neither of them are happy to see each other. They're both very territorial, but they have to work together to take care of this little mess. And wouldn't you know it, it's a setup and things are complicated and they have to now work together, even though they are enemies, to get out of this crazy evening alive and turn the tables on those who would try to do something terrible to them. Yeah, it's a very shenanigans ensue kind of movie. And it is very heavily coasting on the combined star quality of Clooney and Pitt. But lucky for them, Clooney and Pitt have a lot of combined star quality. So if that's what you're here for, you're going to get it. You're going to get a lot of good-natured bantering and, side-eye and ribbing and whatnot. And that's kind of all this movie has to offer, but it's not nothing.
Yeah, written and directed by Jon Watts, who did the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And so, yeah, a lot of it is just the two of them bouncing off of each other and being snarky and snide. Frances McDormand is the voice of the woman who runs the hotel, and that's entertaining as well. And it just feels like a lark. It just feels like a fun thing. Like if you want just totally escapist entertainment, like great looking people bantering with each other, then this is for you. Like we talk about movies that are like fold your laundry movies. I don't think this is that. I think this is like a watch on the airplane movie. You know, it's
perfect. Yes.
Right. You want just to like tune out and enjoy handsome people and just, not think for an hour and a half. I mean, I guess there are twists and turns and things if you want to be engaged on some kind of deeper molecular level. You want to think about plot or whatever, as far as various people who might be out to get them and various cross purposes and will they learn to team up and get along with each other? I don't know. This looks better than you might expect in that it is shot by the same cinematographer who did Everything Everywhere All at Once. And so there was sort of a gleam and a glow to it. It's New York at night at Christmas time.
At Christmas, yes.
Right. And I almost texted you. I'm like, WOLFS is a Christmas movie. But I think the whole reason for that is to have pretty lights everywhere and to sort of give this like a glow, and also to give these guys reasons to wear what they are wearing, right? Like the cool like turtleneck with the jacket over it. Like they have exactly the same wardrobe essentially.
Yes, many coats, beautiful coats.
Yeah, and so like the hotel room where this all takes place is this luxurious penthouse suite, and just like the way that is tastefully lighted. But then compare that to the dive bar. Did you notice when they were pushing in on the dive bar into the telephone booth where Clooney's taking the call that there's a campaign ad for Amy Ryan's character playing on the TV above the bar. That was a nice touch, I thought.
Yeah, I think there's a bus shelter ad with her face also.
It's a nice touch, like hearing that you're paying attention. And then like the very cheesy nightclub where one of the big action set pieces goes down also has like a hot pink kind of neon glow in the snow. So it looks better than it needs to, I think, for a movie that's essentially just wacky, witty banter.
Yeah. I will give Austin Abrams credit for being very game in terms of a lengthy on-foot chase that happens in the snow in New York, where he's basically wearing his tighty-whities. You know, that, and I think a pair of white socks maybe. So it's like, you know, all right, I'm sure there's a lot of stunt doubling going on here, but there's parts where it's clearly you and you're doing it and you're game for the pratfalls and whatnot. Yeah, like I can't be mad at this movie, but it is the kind of movie that exists to offer fun clips for career retrospectives of George Clooney and Brad Pitt more than it exists on its own as a film, you know? But, you know, again, if you just want to see those guys be those guys, you're going to get that in abundance.
Right. And this is one of those movies that takes place over the course of a single night.
Yeah.
Right. And so they have to stay awake all night. And imagine how much perkier they'd be if they had coffee from our friends at Coffee Bros. They do end up at a diner eventually, but they're drinking coffee that's got to be woefully substandard.
Oh, no, not even close.
Compared to what our friends at Coffee Brothers have to offer. We have a deal with them. Take 15% off of your order with Breakfast 15. That is our code. Your shipping is free on orders of $50 or more. I've been enjoying the Kenya pea berry lately, but you know, Christmas is coming. And so the holiday blend will be on its way. So keep an eye out for that. We love our friends at Coffee Bros. So enjoy with them. Yeah. The thing with this movie though, is it's just shaggy enough though, that it kind of makes you long for the clockwork precision of an Ocean's film.
For instance, yes, for sure.
You know, so I guess it's a different beast, but you know, and they're kind of phoning it in. They're sort of like not even really trying, but even them at like 50% is still blindingly brilliant. So what's your number then? What do you think?
I'm like a 6.5. Like, I can't say I wasn't entertained by it, but you kind of, because the two of them have done such interesting work over the years, you keep waiting for this movie to sort of sneak into high gear and go somewhere else. And it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're just going to do this, and this is fine. And so, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they don't even have names, these characters.
No.
This is how shaggy this thing is.
Yeah.
I will say like a 6.8. I'm right in that same area. Like I was entertained. It wasn't great, but it was entertaining. Like I was never bored. I was into it the whole time. So
yeah, it's a lovely disposable movie.
Totally. WOLFS is on Apple TV Plus. Enjoy.